quite a good control of the match?
Yeah, you can see it and you feel it in the stadium. The team was comfortable. We were dominate the possession. I think it was not the last pass. I think it was the last shot, because in my mind, like Greece 2 times in the same position that they scored 2 goals. We couldn't score, so it can happen, but it's moved forward.
And was it that space in behind Pedro Porro with Bruno that you were looking for all the time?
No, it's a lot of things, but we know that this team plays with a high line, and when they switch side, they try to push us, and so we try to take advantage of that. I felt a little bit lack of physicality in that balls, because we had the position and we have to work on that. But overall, it was a good match, but there is no taste in that. So we didn't win. We need to focus on the next game.
You said disconnect at the start of the second half. Just expand on that, because I suppose in the end that's the section of the game that's cost you.
It's to start and they score a goal, and then in this type of games we need to have a long possession in the next possession, and then we start losing the ball again. We start doing bad passes in build-up when the team is open, so we were a little bit nervous in that moment, but then we managed to recover. It's not easy, but was not enough.
You said beforehand it's not just about this competition, so what have you learned tonight?
Tonight I will think about that tomorrow. Tonight, don't feel nothing. There is nothing that I can say to you it's good. Tomorrow I will have a lot of things, because I saw the game, but tonight we lost, and then we have to take a night to think, and then tomorrow we'll have a lot of good things from this game.
But is there also a bigger picture? You said beforehand it's about the Premier League, and we've seen in the last couple of seasons you can't fix Manchester United by winning a cup.
No, I think that we cannot think in that way, like winning a silverware, so everything is okay. It will be a long way. We are improving as a team, and our goal, I say the same thing after the game and before the game, our goal is to win the Premier League. How long it's going to take, I don't know, but that is our goal.
Last question, if I may, on Marcus Rashford. You've left him out of the last 2 squads. He said he wants to leave. Is the best thing going to be a parting of ways in January?
Tomorrow we have training. Marcus Rashford will be there preparing the next game, and we will see the selection for next game.
So he still has a future if he wants it under you?
Of course. He's a Manchester United player. Everybody has a future in Manchester United.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
If it wasn't so serious, it was hilarious. But it was a masterclass in how not to see a game like from Tottenham. Absolutely. It was crazy to see, and we'll obviously get into it more in a minute, but first of all, big result for Tottenham. It gets them into the semi-final, but absolutely crazy. But how often do we see it with them? I mean, the manager, I don't know how he does it at times. He might be pulling his hair out, but he's got to do more. He's got some of the things are his fault, because he causes it himself. You know, playing it back to the goalkeeper, who's without doubt he's the worst player on the pitch with the ball. Stop giving them the ball. But it was absolute madness at times. But the chaos was so enjoyable.
Chaos. They're dancing. They're dancing in the Tottenham Stadium, I think, out of relief as much. I mean, obviously, there's joy that they're in the semi-final, but out of relief. And we'll analyse it, and we'll talk tactics, and we'll talk changing philosophies and all of that, I'm sure, Jamie. But the psychology of sports at times is just a bizarre thing, isn't it? Because you feel it sweep round the stadium.
And especially because of how Tottenham have been this season in terms of throwing leads away. You could just feel, as you said, the momentum shift, the feeling within the stadium. You know, everyone was thinking exactly the same thing. You know, when Manchester United scored the first goal, there was no way Tottenham were going to get the next goal in that game. You just knew it. It was just when Manchester United were going to get the second goal. But what I will say, Tottenham are the most entertaining team in this league, and every time I watch them, it's a great game. We've had another absolute belter here tonight, but
I can't wait for his post-match interview, because I have no idea how he'll feel after that.
I know what he's going to say.
Go on then.
It's just what we do, mate. That's what it'll be. He doesn't change. I said at half-time he needs to change something. Even though they were in front, tactically, Manchester United were causing the problem. Twice the Tottenham manager on his journey to be here right now, but... Oh.
I mean, but 3-2, they were gone. There was only going to be one with it, and I felt
and
at the time
had that chance.
They needed one more goal, and could they fashion it? And obviously, it's a debatable one.
He would have loved it.
Ozzy, that was his type of football.
Go back to his 2-3-5.
Even Pat Jennings turned his back on the goalkeeper at the end. I mean, but when Fraser decides, when the ball was it who shot that? Was it who had the shot when he kicked it away?
It was Ahmad, wasn't it?
It was just like, oh my goodness. But absolutely incredible entertainment tonight. Anyone that's watched that will be sitting thinking, what a game of football. Whether you're a neutral Tottenham fan, Man United fan, incredible. But look at Pat, he probably thinks, my goodness, what has goalkeeping become?
Some remarkable goalkeeping, really, at the end of an astonishing 97 minutes or so of football. And there is joy for Tottenham in the end. There is most definitely a sense of relief, but they have gone through tonight. We've had some cracking quarter-finals, haven't we? Arsenal, Newcastle and Liverpool all going through last night, and now Tottenham tonight. And the draw for the semi-finals is coming up. The ball numbers, very simple. Arsenal 1, Liverpool 2, Newcastle 3 and Tottenham are 4. And we will do the draw just after 10:30 this evening.
Nice, well played. Absolutely crazy night, Dejan. 3-0 up, cruising. Fair to say it ended up being a little more nervy than perhaps it needed to.
Yeah, life, sometimes don't go straight, but the important thing is we win, we're through. Sunday we go again against a good team, so I'm very happy for the win.
Dom, relief?
Yeah, no, for sure. Obviously being 3-0 up, we could have dealt with the game better. Killed ourselves a bit at time, made it a bit hard for ourselves, but like you said, the most important thing was the win, through to the next round, so yeah, we're happy with that.
So just tell us, how does the psychology change? That 3-0, I guess, on the pitch, you feel really comfortable, and then all of a sudden, one mistake, obviously doesn't mean to do it, but it just, everything sort of flicks and flips.
Yeah, no, that's football sometimes, but we stick together. Mistakes are part of football. But we dig in. We showed spirit to make sure that we stayed in the game even when it was going through a difficult period. And like I said, we got the job done.
Dejan, we did an interview earlier in the week where you talked about how frustrating the inconsistency can be. It was sort of like both sides of Tottenham all in one match today, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, 3-0. We played very well, and there we have to keep going. Mistakes happen, but we can't do nothing about it now. We're happy. And like I said, we have an important game Sunday, so just forget about the mistakes and we win.
I tell you what though, Dom, you're starting to really like playing against Manchester United, aren't you? What is that, 5 in 4 now?
Yeah, something like that. Now obviously scoring against a team like United's great, but the most important thing was the win today and get to the semi-final, so we're delighted.
Yeah, Dejan, you're in the form of your life, and it's another step towards a trophy. What would that mean?
Everything. That's why we work. That's why we want to win. And I think we got to keep going. We got to get better. Stay hungry, Tomorrow recovery. And we're going to win in the end.
We'll play to both of you. Dejan, you are the Carabao Cup Player of the Match. A smiling Dom Solanke is going to hand it over.
My boy.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Thank you guys.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Well done.
I think Dominic Solanke's the guy scored 2. Have I not ended up with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, looking at it. But I must say about Solanke, I wasn't sure about the move when he came here. Not for him. I was wondering, would it be too big for him? He'd been at Chelsea as a young boy, did really well at youth levels and international level, went to Liverpool, found it tough, which was understandable with the the front three Liverpool had at the time. But he didn't make any sort of impact at all, even from the bench or the odd little game here for Liverpool. Went to Bournemouth, did well, and I looked at that and I thought, I'm not sure. But I think he's got 9 goals already this season. But it's not just about the goals. His hold-up plays, little touches around the corner, just pressing. And I think that was a big night for him tonight. He's coming up against Manchester United. I know he's got a great record against them, but to me, that he looks like a top centre-forward now. And I made up for him because the type of lad you look at him and you think,
nice lad, yeah.
Is he going to have the personality and the character? It wasn't so much the ability. Is he maybe a bit shy? But I think that was a really big night for him. And
he had a slightly slow start, didn't he? The first 2 or 3 games, he wasn't up and running, so he needed that first goal.
Yeah, and that's when I was watching him thinking... And sometimes we say things in this job, and you don't want to be proven right on something like that, because you look and you think, I hope that lad does well, because you worry if it might be a little bit too much for him. Made a bit of a slow start, but he's up and running now.
Speaking of slow starts, Manchester United made a slow start to that second half. Dejan Kulusevski winning player of the match, and he got the second.
Yeah, important start because you just felt. I mean, it almost feels such a long time ago.
Can you remember
it? But it was obviously it felt at the time like an important goal, and then 3-0 obviously felt important. But they started really well. They obviously had to make a change. Johnny Evans come into centre back position. We saw Martinez do something very similar to this, probably worse actually last year, in the same end at the start of last season in a Premier League game. It's really poor defending. Carrie, you wanted to talk about
Young Euro there, you've got to go with the overlap. That's one of the things about playing in the back five. You can't get done in a situation like that. But with a young defender, they're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. You have to stick with them. But
this is poor from Martinez. He had a really bad second half. You've got to do, whatever happens, you just can't just wave your left foot. You've got to do something. Last year he did something very similar where he right foot and he's put it into his. Sometimes that can affect you. You know what you've done before, and he seems to have real problems in that end for sure. But a good finish by Kulusevski. You know, Maddison was, and at this stage, Tottenham are in the ascendancy. They've got their tails up. The fullbacks are coming forward. And you go, what a joy they are to watch. Then they go 3-0, and you're thinking, now we can't. This is going to be calm. Spurs fans can sit there enjoying the game, but it never happens. It just doesn't happen when you watch this Tottenham side.
And this highlights, Jamie, doesn't it? What you were saying, he has a bit of everything. Just Solanke.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, this is adding confidence now. I can take two defenders on. I'm going to put my foot right through it. You know, making the run. We'll know he'll make that run in behind. And we see Martinez was asking for actually offside. We know there's no VAR, but he wasn't offside. Martinez was playing him on. But I just love this now. He bided his time to get his shot away at the right time. And again, that comes back to the confidence he's shown. Sometimes a player with no confidence might snatch it early on his left foot. He's up against Manchester United defenders. It's like, I'm in charge. I'm in control of this situation. I was delighted for him.
Yeah, you're right. He's always had the attributes. He's always, even at Chelsea as a young kid, I remember watching him in the youth team there. They were talking about him as going all the way and having a great career at Chelsea. Obviously, it didn't work out. Went to Liverpool in the end. Didn't quite work out. And that's the feeling, like Jamie says, can he handle the pressure of a big club like coming here? And he has been fantastic. And he's got that pace and power that's so hard to live with.
Just on the United back three, yeah, and you mentioned Euro there. So obviously he's learning his trade and playing in a back three and playing on the right. Lindelof goes off injured. Evans comes on. He's making a lot of changes in his back three. Eventually, that needs to settle, doesn't it? Otherwise, you're going to get errors.
Yeah, and when you mention a young centre-back, it's an unforgiving position like goalkeeper. We know that. So you look at young Euro, doesn't really follow in on the first goal. The overlap on the second goal, that's something he should read and something he should see. I think a little bit of a worry for Manchester United fans would be Martinez, because I was critical of him when he first came, because I didn't think he'd be able to play in a back four, that would be too small. But he had a really good first season. Now, in some ways, you think he's actually perfectly suited to a back three. You know, he can step out with the left foot. He's got two bigger players alongside him. And even though he played a great ball through, didn't he, for the winner in the Manchester derby, I don't think he's looked as comfortable since Amorim came in, when I actually thought, this would be almost like the making of him, this will really suit him. So that's a little bit of a worry, because as Jamie just rightly said, he had a really poor night tonight.
Fraser Forster made a really good save about a minute before the ceiling caved in.
There's no doubt Fraser has made really good saves. Since Vicario has been injured, he has made a lot of these saves. And what they've done in other games, and I remember saying before the Chelsea game, I said it's really important today that what Tottenham Hotspur don't do is try to play out from the back. And he is a goalkeeper that is very good with his hand. With his feet, less so. So do not put pressure on him. Do not ask these kind of questions, because you're winning 3-0. Just get that ball up the pitch, clip it up to Solanke, work on the second ball. Because that is so bad. But it's just not his strengths. What he's got to do there is, even if he plays it with his right foot, why they're doing it, I have no idea. This is not his strength. Do not play that ball to him. Archie, I think, has got to do, just don't give it to him in the first place. But then he plays that ball blind. Fernandes obviously presses, because it's not what you call a hot press either, is it, Cara?
No, I mean, this frustrates me. I mean, OK, the lad's made a mistake. Don't give somebody the ball. It's basic stuff that you'd know when you were a kid. So I know it's Archie Gray, but Basuma shouldn't be giving him the ball in the first place. Play forward. It doesn't mean long ball, but play forward with quality. You're giving a lad a ball again. And listen, it's awful by the goalkeeper. I mean, even if he's not great with his feet, he should still be able to deal with that. But when you're playing a game of football and someone's made a mistake, And he's made plenty as well over the 18 months he's been here. So I don't know if he's having a go at the goalkeeper or the fact they've given him the ball back. But this goes back to my criticism of Tottenham under the manager after the Chelsea game. They never change how they play, no matter what the game state is. Now, I don't think football should be played the same all up from minute 1 to minute 90. I'm just repeating myself. You know, when it's gone 3-1 and the stadium know, and you know what you've been through this season in terms of having leads, you don't give the ball back to a goalkeeper and make him nervous. Now, he makes another poor mistake, but it goes back to, I think, Ange Postecoglou tells them, no matter if it's in the first minute, the 90 minute, whether we're winning, whether we're losing or we're drawing, we play the same way. And that, for me, I can't have that. That is